Okay, get ready, because today we're going deep on something pretty big. AI image creation, but not the kind you're probably thinking of.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, forget about needing to wait on the cloud or anything like that,
Right.
or needing, a supercomputer.
Uh-huh.
This is all about near-instant results, and get this, on the hardware you probably already have.
It really feels like things are changing fast.
Yeah.
You know, the SketchX lab at the University of Surrey?
Oh, yeah.
Well, they just released NitroFusion, and it's really something else.
I know, it's crazy. We've got the research papers right here, announcements, even some of the more, in-depth technical stuff.
Yeah.
And honestly,
Mm-hmm.
it's blowing my mind. Just imagine you're typing a prompt,
Yeah.
and the image, it just appears as you type.
Like you type.
Not in minutes.
Right.
Not even seconds. Instantaneously.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's not just like making things a little bit better. This is like a totally new way of doing things.
Right.
And because NitroFusion is open source,
Oh, wow.
it means big changes.
Yeah.
Suddenly this power isn't just for the big tech companies. It's for, well, everyone.
I think that's what's so exciting to me.
Uh-huh.
This is like democratization of AI, right?
Yeah, it is.
It's no longer about who's got the biggest servers or whatever.
Right.
It's about who's got the best ideas.
Exactly.
And, we also have to think about sustainability, too.
Oh, for sure.
Relying less on the cloud means using less energy overall.
Yeah.
Which is always a good thing. Right?
Always good. Definitely.
Yeah.
So you ready to get into how this magic works?
Oh, yeah, for sure. The research papers mention this, like dynamic adversarial framework.
Right.
And also something called a dynamic discriminator head pool, which honestly sounds kind of scary.
Yeah.
Can you break those down for us?
Let's try to make it easy to understand. So imagine, instead of just one algorithm looking at your AI image and judging it, you've got like a whole bunch of specialists.
Okay.
Get a panel,
Right.
And each one of them, they're looking at just one part of it, like the composition, the colors, textures, even just how much noise there is while the picture's being made.
Okay.
That's basically the discriminator head pool.
So it's not just like, good or bad. It's like very specific feedback on each little piece.
Right.
As it's being made.
As it's coming together.
I can see why the quality is so good then, even with just one step.
And the dynamic part means that this whole pool is constantly learning as it generates images.
Interesting.
This helps to, avoid those weird repeating patterns that you see sometimes with AI image generators.
Oh, yeah.
Think of it like built-in quality control.
Okay, so we've got this like army of virtual art critics, working in real time to make sure the image looks good. Okay, I get that part. Now, what about this this bottom-up approach?
Yeah.
You mentioned that a little bit ago, and I think it's got something to do with NitroFusion's flexibility.
It does.
But like, what does that actually mean for me as someone who's going to use it?
Okay, well, think about it this way. Most AI models, they work step by step, right?
Right.
Refining the picture with each step.
Uh-huh.
But NitroFusion, it lets you choose how many steps you want to take.
Oh, wow.
All with the same model. You could get a rough draft instantly, just one step.
Okay.
Or you could refine it with, up to 4 steps for more detail.
Wow.
It really puts you in control.
So instead of having, different models for different levels of detail,
Yeah.
I can just adapt the process as I go.
You got it.
That's going to save so much time, especially for, brainstorming or prototyping.
Yeah, for sure. You can focus on one specific part of the image without having to start over from scratch every time. Say you love the composition, but you want to just tweak, how a character is looking.
Right.
You can just do that little part.
Oh, wow.
And keep the rest.
Okay, yeah.
Makes things a lot faster.
That's a big advantage, especially for me. I tend to like to, play around with things and change them as I go.
Right.
But how does NitroFusion, how does it compare to other stuff out there when it comes to quality?
Right.
Does all this speed mean that you have to sacrifice detail?
That's where it gets really interesting, because the research from SketchX, it shows that NitroFusion is actually better than other single-step methods out there.
Wow.
Both in terms of quality and keeping the details.
But I'm guessing a slower process, one with more steps,
Yeah.
that probably still produces a better result overall.
Well, they did studies with real people,
Yeah.
comparing images from NitroFusion to images from other models.
Okay.
Even ones using, lots of steps.
Right.
And guess what? People actually said they liked the NitroFusion pictures better.
No.
Yeah. Even the ones that, took longer to generate.
So it's faster, and people think it looks better. It sounds almost too good to be true. What's the catch?
Well, there are some limitations.
Oh.
The main one is that it was trained on synthetic images.
Okay.
So it's really good at making images with a sort of digital look, but it can struggle a bit with photorealism.
Okay.
It's like, a painter who's amazing at abstract art but needs a bit more practice with landscapes.
Ah, I see.
Yeah.
So maybe not the best tool for making super realistic photos just yet then.
Right.
But I bet there's still a lot you can do with it.
Oh, tons. Especially when you think about how you can adapt it to other models.
Right, yeah.
That's one of the most exciting things. Even though it was trained on a specific set of data, you can actually make it work with other SDXL models, which means you can basically use its speed for any kind of artistic style you want.
That's amazing.
Imagine getting those instant results with a model that's trained on anime or like oil paintings.
Wow, yeah. Okay, now that's where things get really interesting. So we're talking about personalized AI image generation, where it's tailored to exactly what you need and the style you want.
Exactly.
And because it's open source, the possibilities are, well, endless.
Endless, yeah.
It's like giving everyone the keys to a supercar and saying, go have fun.
Right.
I can't wait to see what people create with it.
It's going to be amazing.
I'm already thinking of ideas. But hold on, before we go too crazy talking about the possibilities.
Okay.
Let's take a closer look at how all of this actually works under the hood.
All right.
Don't worry, we'll keep it, easy to understand.
We'll keep it simple. All right, so want to peek under the hood a bit?
Yeah, let's do it.
But we won't get, too technical.
Yeah, for sure. Keep it high level.
High level.
Right.
Okay, so at its core, NitroFusion is using what's called a diffusion model.
Okay.
It's a technique that's becoming pretty popular in AI image stuff.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
You can kind of think of it like you take a perfectly clear picture, you add a bunch of noise to it, you scramble it up, and then you train the AI to reverse that process to get back to the original image.
So it's like solving a puzzle, but the puzzle is a messed up picture, and the AI has to figure out how to fix it.
Exactly. That's a great way to put it. The difference here, though, with NitroFusion is that it's designed to do all that unscrambling in one step.
Oh, wow.
Traditional diffusion models, they take, multiple steps to refine the image, which is why they're often slower.
Right.
NitroFusion is all about speed and being efficient.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So we have this diffusion model doing its thing in the background.
Right.
But you also mentioned this adversarial framework.
Yeah.
Which honestly sounds kind of, intimidating.
It's not as scary as it sounds, I promise.
Okay.
Think of it like two AI models working together.
Okay.
But also kind of competing with each other.
Right.
So you've got the generator, that's the one making the image.
Yeah.
And then you've got the discriminator, and it's like the judge.
Okay.
It looks at the picture and decides, is it good or not?
So the generator's trying to make a convincing picture, and the discriminator's trying to, catch it out.
Exactly. And it's through this back and forth, that both of them actually get better.
Interesting.
The generator learns to make more realistic pictures to fool the discriminator. Yeah. And the discriminator gets better at spotting the fakes.
So it's like a constant game of, one-upmanship.
It is.
But ultimately, it results in better images overall.
Exactly. And what's cool about NitroFusion is that it actually uses a whole pool of discriminators.
Oh, wow.
Not just one. Remember those art critics we were talking about?
Oh, yeah.
Each one's like a specialist in some aspect of image quality and even at different noise levels.
Okay, yeah.
So some might be focusing on the overall composition early on,
right,
while others are looking at tiny details like textures towards the end.
So it's like having a whole team evaluating the image from all angles, making sure it's really good.
Yeah, exactly.
But wouldn't using so many discriminators require a ton of computing power?
That's a great question. It's actually one of the things that makes NitroFusion so innovative.
Okay.
It does all of this really efficiently, even on, regular consumer hardware.
So not only is it fast and high quality, it's also really efficient.
You got it.
It really is living up to the hype. Okay, so we've talked about the diffusion model, adversarial framework, the discriminator pool.
Yep.
Is there anything else going on under the hood that makes NitroFusion so good?
There is one more key thing. Multi-scale dual objective training.
Oh, okay. That sounds complicated.
It's basically just saying that the AI is trained to pay attention to like the big picture of the image,
Okay.
and also the tiny little details at the same time.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's not just making a blurry blob that kind of looks like the prompt, it's capturing all those little textures and patterns that make an image feel real.
So it's like having a wide-angle lens and a macro lens working together.
Yeah.
To capture, the big picture and the little details.
Exactly.
I think that explains why the images look so real, even with just one step.
It does. It's this whole combination of things that make NitroFusion so good.
Okay.
It's fast, it makes great images, but beyond all the technical stuff, what I think is really exciting is how this could change different industries.
Yeah, for sure. We've already talked about some of those possibilities, but I'd love to hear, specifically where you think NitroFusion could be a real game changer.
Okay, well, let's start with, say, filmmaking and animation.
Okay.
Imagine making entire scenes in real time.
Wow.
And being able to, change things on the fly.
Yeah.
It would totally revolutionize the whole creative process. You could experiment so much more.
Yeah. No more waiting hours for a single frame to render, right?
Exactly. It would be like sculpting with light and form.
Wow.
Bringing your vision to life instantly.
And what about gaming?
Oh, yeah.
I feel like the possibilities for immersive interactive environments are mind-blowing.
Mind-blowing, totally.
Yeah.
Imagine these open world games where the environments are always changing, reacting to what you do.
Oh, yeah.
Or games that are personalized to you based on what you like.
Right.
The level of detail and how responsive things could be, it would be unlike anything we've ever seen before.
And it's not just entertainment, right?
Right.
We talked about education earlier, and I think NitroFusion could be a huge tool for learning and exploring.
Absolutely. Interactive textbooks that actually come to life.
Wow.
Learning that's tailored to each student.
Uh-huh.
And virtual field trips where you can go anywhere, anytime.
That would be amazing.
The potential is huge.
Yeah.
It's like giving everyone access to this pocket universe of knowledge and creativity.
It really is. But, with all this excitement, we also have to think about the potential downsides.
You're absolutely right.
Any powerful tool can be misused, and AI is no exception.
Yeah.
We've already seen concerns about AI being used for, deep fakes and spreading misinformation.
Right.
Is that something we should be worried about with NitroFusion?
It's a valid concern, for sure.
Yeah.
The fact that anyone could make these realistic images so easily, even for bad reasons, that's something we need to be very aware of.
Right.
But I actually think that NitroFusion being open source might also be part of the solution.
Oh, okay. How so?
Well, when the code is out there for everyone to see,
Yeah.
it means there's more transparency.
Okay.
More people can look at it, understand it, and point out potential problems.
Right.
The whole community can work together to find those vulnerabilities and figure out ways to protect against misuse.
There's a collective effort to make sure this powerful tool is used responsibly.
Exactly. And it's not just about preventing the bad stuff. It's also about making sure AI is developed and used ethically.
Right. Yeah.
The people who created NitroFusion, they've been really vocal about being responsible with AI. They're encouraging everyone to talk about it and work together.
That's really good to hear. Gives me hope that we can handle this new technology thoughtfully, rather than just reacting to problems after they happen.
Exactly. We need to be aware of the risks, but also embrace the amazing things this technology can do.
I agree. I think we've covered a lot today. We talked about how NitroFusion works,
Yeah.
what it can be used for, and even the ethical side of things.
For sure.
It's clear that this is a huge step forward in AI image creation. It could really change creative industries and give so much power to individuals.
It really is. It's an exciting time to be seeing all of this happening.
It is.
And it's just the beginning. I can't wait to see what comes next.
Me too.
Yeah.
And, before we get too carried away thinking about the future, I want to circle back to one thing about NitroFusion.
Nope.
It's adaptability.
Right.
We talked about how it can be adjusted to work with other SDXL models, which means you could use its speed for any artistic style.
Yeah.
But how easy is that for, regular people to do?
That's a good question. Right now, it does take a bit of technical knowledge.
Okay.
You have to adjust weights and parameters, stuff like that.
Right.
Which can be pretty tough if you're not a coder.
So is it just a tool for, developers and AI experts then?
Not necessarily. The AI community is, really active and always coming up with new things.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing, user-friendly tools pretty soon.
Oh, cool.
to make it easier for people who aren't coders to do that adapting. It's just a matter of time.
That would be incredible.
You would.
It would really open things up for everyone to experiment and create, even if they don't have that technical background.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's really exciting to think about a future where anyone can, tweak these AI models and make them work for their own creative projects. But I'm curious, what are the researchers working on now? Like, what's next for NitroFusion itself?
Well, they're definitely not just sitting back and relaxing.
Okay, good.
One of the big things they're focused on is making NitroFusion better at handling, real-world images.
Okay.
Remember we talked about how it was trained on synthetic data?
Yeah.
Which is why it sometimes has trouble with, photorealism.
Right, so they're trying to, bridge that gap between the digital look and the nuances of real photography.
Exactly. They're trying different training data sets, experimenting with new techniques, all to make NitroFusion more versatile.
So imagine being able to create, photorealistic images, but with that same speed and efficiency.
Exactly.
That would be huge for so many fields.
Oh, yeah. Advertising, marketing, even architecture and design.
And what about those ethical concerns we talked about? Are they doing anything to address those? While they're making all these technical advances?
Absolutely. The researchers are very aware of the potential for misuse.
Yeah.
They're actually working with experts in AI ethics.
Oh, wow.
To develop safeguards and guidelines to make sure it's used responsibly.
I'm glad to hear that they're taking that seriously.
Yeah.
Baking those ethical considerations right into the development process. It's not just about making the technology better. It's about making sure it's used for good.
Exactly. And it's not just up to them either. It's a responsibility we all share as, users and members of this AI community.
Yeah.
We need to be aware of what this technology can do and make sure we use it ethically.
I think that's a great point.
Yeah.
I feel like we've covered a lot today. We talked about the technical stuff, what NitroFusion can do, and even the ethical side of things.
It's been a good conversation.
It really has.
Yeah.
And it's clear that NitroFusion is a big leap forward. It has the potential to change creative industries and give individuals a lot of power.
Absolutely. It's an exciting time to be watching all of this happen.
It is. And it's just the beginning.
Oh, just the beginning.
Who knows what other incredible advancements are coming as NitroFusion continues to develop and inspire new innovations. I'm really looking forward to seeing what the future holds for AI image creation and all the ways it'll make our lives better.
I am too. And, I think our listeners are just as excited as we are. So to everyone out there, if this deep dive into NitroFusion has, sparked your curiosity, we encourage you to learn more.
Yeah, we've got links to all the resources we talk about down in the show notes.
And if you have any thoughts, questions, or even just some cool ideas you want to share, leave a comment below.
Yes, definitely. We love hearing from you.
We do.
Because ultimately, the future of AI is shaped by all of us. It's a journey we're all on together.
That's right.
So let's, embrace the possibilities, navigate the challenges responsibly, and see what amazing things we can create together.
Well said. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep creating.
And remember, the only limit is your imagination.